When was the last time you were excited for a release? With video gaming becoming a sensation around the globe, connecting more and more people, it seems like a great time to be alive. We follow developers, buy merchandise and visit conventions to show our dedication for our favorite franchise. And no matter if it's strategy, party games or first-person shooters that pique your interest, we all share the same passion that unites us. But yet, when Bethesda revealed their plans for a new way to play Fallout, or Ubisoft lifts the curtain on Division 2, fans remain indecisive whether to love the new turn or to remain skeptical about its release. What exactly happened to the excitement that filled the room whenever a new IP got shown at E3, or the hype surrounding an announced sequel to a beloved game? When Halo 2 came out in 2004, it was dubbed a pop culture frenzy. Nowadays, people try to stay clear of pre-order editions or jumping on the hype train altogether. The developers obviously took note of this and are starting to reinforce their pre-order offers. Creating digital scarcity, they're using development time and resources to create items that are advertised to be for a limited time only. To achieve this, they are usually taken out of the game in advance to later be sold to us, who are willingly paying up. Seemingly nothing can escape the monetization, and thus even a tool for developers to get their game tested before release is being put under the hammer. Remember when companies used to upload demos to the internet so potential customers could get a glimpse of what they're going to buy? Companies quickly realized that giving out something for free doesn't create revenue. And while the term demo may be a bit outdated, you probably know it as beta access. Locking it behind a paywall, only people who have already purchased a pre-order edition get to play an early build of the game. It is like wanting to shop for some new clothing, but you are prohibited to enter the store because you haven't paid a fee. You simply cannot see how cozy a hoodie is by looking at a magazine. Pre-order editions are nothing intrinsically evil. They allow the developer to invest more money into working on their game, hire more staff, and thus potentially fix more bugs before the final build sees the light of day. Not only that, but most of them offer real-life goodies like statues or figurines in form of collector's editions that are worth a look. The problem here lies within the greed that can develop, since some of the acclaimed collector's editions worth multiple $100s do not even offer the game itself. That has to be bought separately. All of this would be way more forgivable if at the end you were to be handed a finished and polished product that was worth your investment. But no matter what side of the fence you are on, there's no denying that more and more big titles are feeling rushed, pressured by their own deadline. It is questionable whether it is the ambition to get a game out as soon as possible to please fans, or the marketing strategy to publish it within a certain release window to avoid competing titles. There's no better indicator for a rushed and unfinished release than the term Day 1 patch. Developers are throwing out their games with the mentality release now, fix later, which sometimes can lead to a patch on the day of release with the size of multiple gigabytes. Bethesda's Fallout 76 took the trophy here, whose 54GB patch was bigger than the game itself. It is behavior like this that really starts to raise questions what the developer's intentions are. This is not passion, but releasing a game for the sake of it. But while at the moment everyone is jumping on the fence when it comes to Bethesda's way to deal with the Fallout franchise, they don't deserve your undivided attention alone. It seems like Electronic Arts cannot let a single year pass without putting their stamp on it. While 2017 ended with the Battlefront 2 debacle, EA is probably looking at their Battlefield 5 release with pride and accomplishment their own. While developer and publisher Digital Extremes appreciates the value of community engagement, EA's Patrick Soderlund had the audacity to call their community uneducated in an interview with Gamasutra, and to tell them that if they don't agree with the design choices, to just not buy the game. And they didn't. As soon as physical sales data for Battlefield 5 in the UK surfaced, it started to become clear that they are down more than 50% in comparison to their predecessor, Battlefield 1. Will this hurt EA's income enough for them to change their course? Probably not, since the majority of their revenue is not created via Battlefield, but their flagship sports title, FIFA. Where the rest of the gaming industry is slowly advancing, FIFA refuses to adapt to modern times. Where Battlefield is advertised to not include loot boxes or pay for power, FIFA doubles down. Disguising gambling as card packs, Electronic Arts keeps pushing what is now known as live service games. Monetizing every step of the way, there seems to be no escape from the avalanche that is microtransactions. Whether it is in the blatant form of the Wilson loot box, as Skilla calls it, or the subtle approach of experience boosters in single-player games, companies are getting smarter every day when it comes to their implementation. Take the critically acclaimed Assassin's Creed Odyssey, for example, whose story cuts off at one point, forcing you to grind side quests for hours to gain a certain level, while offering you experience boosters at the same time. How such a game can be nominated as Game of the Year is beyond me. We are now at a point where just paying the initial price is just the beginning, and buying additional in-game transactions afterwards is to be expected. Gone are the days of unlocking new cosmetics or cool outfits. 2018 was the year of the credit card. In some way, we should be thankful for Battlefront 2, since its backlash was not only to be felt in the gaming industry, but for the first time in politics as well. With Belgium on the front, 16 countries have now signed a paper against greedy monetization schemes. One would think that this would be a turning point, but whether it is 2K Games' statement encouraging their fans to talk to their local politician about why loot boxes are not that bad after all, or EA Games willingly going to court over this, the gaming industry will not give up without a fight. If loot boxes will be gone, another microtransaction will take its place. I'd like to quote the German YouTuber and video game journalist David Hein here. Nowadays, developers are getting more creative at implementing monetizations than designing their own game.
Okay, hello everyone. Cory Barlog here, director of God of War.
However, some titles show that there are still genuine developers out there who care about their craft and delivering a finished product. When the fantastic God of War got released, people were at awe what Santa Monica Studios had created.
Okay, I've stalled enough. I'm hitting enter. I'm clicking on games now. Holy shit.
And for a good reason. Cory Barlog and his team poured their heart in creating a sequel that was worth its name on the box. Being awarded Game of the Year, they have shown that there is still love for single-player games and great storytelling.
94. Metacritic, it changed when
The new God of War can be put in the category of 2018's Big Two. Next to Spider-Man, they form video games' greatest AAA titles that set a new industry standard. No microtransactions, no on-disc DLC. There it is, the passion that we were missing all along. In the case of Spider-Man, the most discussed topic upon release was the removal of a few puddles. That's how you know you made a great game. In times where Electronic Arts' proclaimed research has shown that there is no more interest in single-player games, they are holding their ground, proving the opposite. But we are missing something here. Usually the gems of gaming are hidden from most people's radar. With titles like Celeste, whose cute characters, fantastic audio and amazing platforming managed to get themselves a nomination for Game of the Year by the Game Awards, or the sarcastic Enter the Gungeon that focuses its entire game around bullets. The indie genre is where creativity thrives. While it seems like companies and gamers are getting more and more disconnected from one another, these developers are creating games with heart. For the passion of telling a story, for the passion of creating a challenge, and for the passion for their craft. Nobody wants for a game to fail. But maybe that is what it needs for investors and developers to rethink their approach to games. While it is easy to point a finger at developers and publishers for their shady ways to implement microtransactions, I think we don't need to look any further than ourselves when it comes to the root of the problem. Have we waited too long to open our mouths and be vocal about these kind of monetizations? Have we actively supported those practices by buying their games or uploading case openings to YouTube? Next time you are shopping for games, ask yourself whether buying this game supports passionate developers or investors aimed at milking a franchise. Or let me know if I am a bit too skeptical by actively engaging in the discussion. After all, I am but a single person trying to tell a story. Thanks for watching.